Hello and welcome to Saul Indian Horse History Museum. So first I'm going to start explaining the museum map. As you can see, there are three floors, the second floor, main floor, and basement. And the order that you need to follow is that you need to start with the second floor, then eventually go to the main floor, and lastly to the basement in order to fully understand Saul history. So the museum is distributed according to 11 main plots of the story. And these sections will provide an insight of the conflict, climax, and resolution of the story. The colors, pictures, and music that will be provided in the museum will help the audience to get into the mood of the story. There will be three exhibitions apart from the main sections of the museum to help audience to deeply understand the main themes of the story. There are going to be two areas of events where talks will take place in order to make conscious to the audience about the conflicts that Saul confronted in his life. Also, the gift shop will have merchandise that will help to symbolize the main messages of the story. The restaurant will provide iconic food to symbolize the Ojibwa culture, and they both will be decorated in a way to introduce the audience to the setting of the story. I'm not gonna go deeply inside into each of the 11 sections. However, I'm going to just to make a bit overview. The first section is going to talk about Saul and his family, where they used to live, the activities they used to do, the main problems they faced during this period, and the main characters, which is Naomi, the grandmother, Benjamin, brother, and Rachel, the sister. Then the God's Lake is a second section. And this part is when Saul and his family secluded themselves to the woods in order to connect with nature and to heal themselves and his brother. The third section is called Kiwatin, which in their language is it means the north wind. And this section represents the part where Saul and his grandmother faced the hard winter and cold weather, and how they managed to go to the south and how they tried to survive. They went in canoes. However, the grandmother didn't survive. So eventually, in the fourth section, we're going to show how Saul ended up in St. Jerome's Indian Residential School, what he went through during this time, how the other kids also were punished and abused. And also, we're going to talk about the characters in this institute. Then the fifth section is called Shelter in Heaven, and this focuses mainly in how Saul was introduced to hockey, and we talk about Father Gaston Leboutier, who was the one that introduced Saul to hockey and let him play in the institute hockey team. The section number 6 mainly talks about the first time that Saul faced racism and discrimination by being kicked off of a team because of his race and skin. This section number 7 is called Cave of the Great Spirit, and it talks about the period of time when Saul goes to live with his foster parents, Fred and Martha, and he meets their son, Vigil, who becomes the best friend of Saul. And they both start playing in the Moose, which is the hockey team, and how Saul became a hockey star in that team. Then the 8th section talks about when Saul is recruited to go to Toronto to play, and uh, how he suffered a high level of discrimination and racism, and we explain why he decided to quit and return to the old town where he used to live. Then the section number 9 talks about how he started working, how he inward himself to the rest of the world by drinking. Section number 10 talks about the healing process, how he started remembering things from the institute, and how he started experiencing traumas about what he suffered in that place. And the section number 11 talks about how he started taking a path in his life. He reconnects with people that he loves, and how he starts sharing the passion that he had from the sport. There's going to be several exhibitions. However, I'm going to talk about this one specific, which is the exhibition of the most popular and important native hockey players, their history, achievements, and this is very important. This connects with the novel because it was really important for Saul and his teammates to be recognized as real hockey players and not just only as Indians. Then there's going to be several events also in the museum, but this second one is the most important one because we're going to invite Indian native people to talk about their lifestyle and how different it is from ours, and how difficult it is for them to adapt to our lifestyle because they appreciate totally different things than what we appreciate. And this connects to the novel because it relates to the shock that Saul had when adapting to the institute life and to understand it more deeply, and that we really need to recognize this culture and allow them to live freely and with dignity. Then the gift shop it's going to have three main merchandise. However, the third one I think is the most important one because we're going to sell notebooks with quotes that will be subtracted from the story. And this really connects to the novel because this relates to how painful it was for Saul and all the kids in the institute to stop talking and praying in their languages, because this was a way for them to lose their humanity and their souls. Finally, the restaurant is going to have three main dishes, and these three ones connects to what Saul and his grandmother would eat while they were being secluded in the woods. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much.